I'm talking so that I'm recording, and I will put this on the internet. Don't say no name. Don't say no nothing that identifies where you is, your address, none of that stuff, because I don't want nobody getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Right, I feel you.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you what I'm calling to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we'll go over this whole thing. First, I just sent you a link for the entire state of Georgia as an example. If you want to register a trade name with the court, they have all of the steps for doing that.
Okay.
Okay, now this is not a registering a DBA, but for instance, the first one pulled up was Fulton County. I know Fulton County. I've been to Fulton County. The other one is Corner-on-the-Cob County. And so this one here for Corner-on-the-Cob is UCC and Trade Names, Uniform Commercial Code Association, Georgia, using a trade name, but it says County Clerk of the Superior Court, and it specifically is highlighting registered trade names. So you are right, and you're the first person to bring this to my attention. We do know that the all caps name is a corporation, but it's a trade name, not so much a corporation as it is a trade name. So I want you to tell me, I'm gonna stop talking right now and let you tell me what you've been able to uncover.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. We can say one name if you want. You can tell everybody that you're LL Cool J's inspiration for the song about Dear Somebody. So you can give them your name if you want. I don't mind.
I go by Trinity.
Okay, Trinity works. Trinity works.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
But no, so, I already knew that because you've been emailing me for some time.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, when you're backed into a corner, either you flee or you fight. So I decided I'm going to fight. So basically what happened is I went on the website, which is, you know, the ship website, and I started looking around and poking around. And I came across this thing that says trade name, registered trade name, and it says UCC1 filing. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I clicked on it to say, let me check and see what comes up. So I'm punching my name.
Now, give me 1 second, because I'm here at the Cobb County Clerk of the Superior Court, and one of the first things they tell you under trade name registration is trade names is any name used in the course of business that doesn't include the full legal name of the all the owners of the business.
Exactly.
But you went and you found the full trade name and the name of the legal owner.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just, see, what you don't see is I'm pulling up the screen while you're talking, and that's the first thing I pulled up. And this is the County Superior Court for Cobb County. This is their website saying this. But go ahead. I want you to finish telling people what you found out so they'll get it, because right now, up to the beginning of this conversation, they think they're getting it, but they're not getting it. So go ahead.
They're not getting it. Okay, so I said, let me see what it is. First of all, I'm like, maybe I need to just have my own business. So I said, let me check to see if anything is out there. So I punch in where it says search trade name. So we're going to just use that name so people can get it. It says register trade name. Okay, I pull up the form. They have a PDF to use. You just got to fill them out. So I said, let me check and see if mine comes up, because I've been getting letters and stuff that's in a trade name and I don't have a business. So I punch in my trade name and it pops up. Now, mind you, when it pops up, all my information came up with real property. Okay? And I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be right. So I back out, and I did it again. Same thing comes up. So I said, there has to be a form to cancel it. So I said, let me see. Maybe because I'm in foreclosure, if I cancel this thing, it will void the foreclosure because that was my intention to do. Okay.
Gotcha.
So I found an affidavit to cancel the registered name. I print out the form. I fill it out. Now, when you go to fill it out, it specifically says you have to put deed, book, and page number affiliated. Okay. Now, if you have a trade name or business name, why would you need a deed and page number? Okay. So I said, all right. Went back in and I got all my information from the deed land records information. I put what's associated with my.
What's the affidavit called again?
Huh?
What's the affidavit called again?
It's called affidavit to cancel the registered trade name. It's on there. It's their form. I can send it to you if you need it to, but it's their form and it's very simple and easy to complete. So I filled it out accordingly. Hold on one second.
Yes, go right ahead.
Hey, turn it off! I apologize.
No, go ahead. I just was pulling up some affidavit to cancel registered trade names in Georgia. And they're the ones that pulled up first. I put California, but because I had already put Georgia in the other one, it stuck with Georgia, but it pulled up for Colorado and so forth. But go ahead. I just wanted to let people know that all of these states have the affidavit to cancel registered trade name.
Right, so that's the actual form. Okay, it might have it listed differently in other counties and stuff, but that's what I found. But if you do registered trade name, because they have a book in the court, it's public record, so it's sitting out on the counter, and I went and looked in there first, and everybody is in upper cases. So I went to the lady and I was like, so to make a long story short, I filled the form out. I went to a notary, and you guys got to. Let me tell you right now, whenever you get anything notarized, if you don't sign it exactly how it is on your driver's license or whatever you're using as an identification, it's not valid.
Got you.
I'll say it again. If you notarize any document and the ID that you're using is not identical to what your signature is, it's invalid. Okay, I was a notary, so I know this. All right. Filled it out, went to the courthouse, walked up to the window, and I said, I'm here to file a paper. Gave her the document. She says, I can't file this. I'm like, why not? You're administrative. You have to file anything I give you. I said, I fill out all the form. I put, it's notarized. The name is there and everything. She said, you don't have a business. And he said, ma'am, go back to your screen and go back to the registered trade name and punch my number in. She said, oh, no, you're in foreclosure. That's why your thing is not, that's why it's coming out. I said, that's none of your business. I didn't actually do that.
It doesn't matter. You didn't ask her about foreclosure. You're not there to talk about foreclosure. I'm sorry.
So hold on. Let me tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
Here comes an agent, okay? I'm telling you, he's a real agent. Walks over smirking. I said, can I speak to your supervisor? He said, can I help you? I said, I'm here to conduct some business. I need to cancel my registered name. He's like, is that your name? I said, it's not my name. I'm not a corporation. But obviously, it's here. So he said, so what's your name? So I said, my name is so-and-so from the family of so-and-so. He started smiling, okay? Because he knew I'm on to them a little bit, but he thinks that I'm a little bit confused. So I said, somebody's stolen my identity. That's what I told him. He said, no one has stolen your identity. You're in foreclosure. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, hand me back the document.
Did you notice he said, you're in foreclosure? How are you in foreclosure? Were you there to talk about foreclosure?
That's what he was talking about.
Exactly. So, excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about. This ain't about foreclosure. And even if I,
that's what I told him. I said, it's none of your business.
But no, even if a person is in foreclosure, show me the rule which prohibits them from filing a document into the record. See,
Exactly.
but no,
But
the
you know
problem
what?
is you were having the wrong conversation with them. You let them change the subject matter.
No, that's okay. That's okay, because you know what? I normally walk with my bag. I have all my stuff in there with my codes and stuff. But because I was in such a rush, I went in there without it, because I do have the actual code that says trade names and if you're prohibited from using it if you're not the name and all this stuff. I mean, it's their own language. So I said, okay. He said, I could file it for you. Pay me $13.
Yeah, give her her
But I'm not gonna.
stupid dollars.
So hold on. He said, no. You know what? I can stamp it, but I can't file it. I said, sir, if you're not gonna file my documents on the record, please hand it back to me. He said, but I can stamp it. I said, no. Give it back.
Yeah,
So
I
I said,
didn't
I'm
ask
gonna
you
file
to
a police
stamp
report.
it. Stamping it is not, you're going to stamp it as received. You're not going to stamp it as filed. I need the document filed according to the rules.
Exactly. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to sit here and argue with you, sir. Just have me pass the document, and I'm going to file a report with the county sheriff's
Hold on.
office.
Do you have
And that's what I did.
do you have a pen?
A pen?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ready. Hold on. All right. All right.
What I want you to do is write down this word and this word. Give me a second. I got to open up another window because I need to find it for Georgia. Give me a county in Georgia, just any county. Just name me a county. The first one that comes off top of your head, last one that comes off.
Gwinnett.
Say it again?
Gwinnett County.
How do you spell it?
Gwinett.
The word I'm having you write is Pathana Notary is PROTHONOT.
Say it again. I'm sorry. You broke up.
Yes, PRO. T as in Tom, H as in Henry, ONOTARY. And you want to find that clerk in your county. I'm putting up the county you just gave me, and COUNTY. You want that clerk you want to speak to that clerk. You don't want to speak to just anybody.
Oh, all right. So is that TROTHON?
OTARY.
Okay, I see it. Okay.
That's the head clerk. That's the main hound dog in the courtroom. That's the person who oversees all of the records.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So this. Yeah. So what I said I was going to do, since it's already registered, right? It's already set up.
Yeah, but
my thing was the next thing I had to do.
Did you deregister it already first?
They already have it set up on the county level. So I was just going to go to the state level.
No. Pay attention. Did you deregister it?
No, they wouldn't let me do anything.
Okay. Do you know how to deregister that name?
I'd have to dissolve it.
Maybe not.
No.
Maybe you can do a claim of ownership.
Yeah. Oh, snap. Yes, there is a form in my document, in my loan document. There's an affidavit in there and a claim. Oh, okay. My God.
So because that was done in your name as a result of your contract, you are the trust interest holder of the account. See, we've known they've been doing this because they will take out 5 or 6 mortgages out on your home. But what I want you to do is tell everybody what you found out about Jersey and all the way across seas internationally regarding your trade name.
Yes. Hong Kong. Hello? Okay. So there is all right. So for everybody that's listening, if you took out now this is the thing, they use words to trick you. It's not a mortgage, like you said. Because when I look on even before you run that video, I look and it says purchase agreement. And I'm like, why are they saying that it is a mortgage? And I was like, oh my God. And then when I saw your video, I was like, you're on the money. So I had confirmation because I thought I was losing my mind. Okay. I went through my entire document. So I want to give people one more important information that they need to have. Now, I don't know if I should even say it, because if they're listening to your channel, they're going to know what's going on, and they might.
You can't know, because you can't. Okay, that's what I've been trying to get people to
I
understand.
mean, it's going to be hard. It's a rule. It's actually a rule.
No, you need to understand. They're not going to. They can only change the procedure. In order for them to change something drastically to where it affects everybody, they would have to change it to where it affects everybody. It would ruin their system. So what we are doing is we are bringing the information out so that more people are aware of it, so that more people are doing it, so that when they do make the changes, we can see where the changes are. Do you understand? That's the logic behind having everybody do the same thing, because when they make the changes, we can see where they made the changes and we can make adjustments at that point.
Okay, so this is what happened now. So for everybody that's listening, if you took out a purchase agreement, okay, these are the most important things. Purchase agreement, you need to check on your demand feature. Every loan has a demand feature. Mine did not have one. Mine says no. Okay, that means they cannot demand any so-called fiat dollars from you. Okay, they can't demand it. They cannot accelerate it either. And if they accelerate it, it will be a breach of contract. Okay, another thing they have to do. Say
that again. You're going to have to say that again. Sorry, because I promise you, even though they have the ability of rewinding, they didn't get it. So you're going to have to. Sorry, I know my audience. I just have to let you know.
Okay.
Oh, see, you guys, that's what y'all don't get. That's why I don't do videos where I just come straight out and tell people. I have to tell it to them in a certain format, or they won't get it. Just like you said, you're right on the money. But it was because of the way the information is being delivered, as opposed to me just coming straight out and just telling it to you. It's the way people receive information. So tell them that one more time.
So you have to literally, my loan thing is so thick, I went through it, okay? Word for word, page for page. You have to check for your demand feature.
Hold on.
If it says, it's called a demand feature.
I'm just putting demand feature in Google. Features of on demand is a feature introduced. No, that's not the feature we're looking for. Let's put loan docs to make sure people get it, because that gave me Windows. Okay.
Right.
And I just need everybody and their grandfather to know that I don't return people's calls. You know how many times you tried to get in touch with me, how many emails you sent me. Okay, I don't return people's calls, I don't return people's emails, but I had a little bit of time today because I was in the midst of doing some other things, and I said, you know what?
I appreciate it.
Let me go ahead and have her tell everybody else about this. So go right ahead.
Okay, so like I said, you have to, actually exactly where it is, because all my stuff is labeled here. So if you go to the section where it says finance, where it has your financing amount, like the amount they charge you for interest and stuff like that.
Yes.
If you pull that document up, it's called, let me see what mine says here. Here we go. So your demand feature is where they say that I want my money back and I want it now.
Exactly.
You know that commercial?
Yep.
All right. I want my money and I want it right now. If that doesn't say yes, they cannot demand any money from you. And you need to check your acceleration clauses, because it might have an acceleration clause, but doesn't mean that they can accelerate it. it all depends on something else. So you have to look at where it says as it relates to section so and so. I can't give you specifics because I'd have to let me see if I'm let me have to find it real quick. So
I just want you to
that's a very
understand
important.
what's going on. You just looked at your loan docs for the first time. You saw them the first time. You just glanced at them. You didn't look at them, But now you're looking at them, and you're starting to realize that these are because you just said this document is called demand feature, lending demand features. Okay, that's its own separate contract. That's a different contract. That's not the same as all the other contracts. There are a bunch of contracts that they have you sign on the same day, and they slip it all in, making you think that it's all one contract, and it is not.
Yes, yes, that's the thing. It's not one. And let me explain something to you guys. You need to look up the word covenant. Covenant means for life. You can't get out of that.
Well,
Okay?
the only way you can is by doing a notice of change in terms of agreement for each one of the agreements, not just for the whole agreement, for each one of the agreements, putting a specific name of the agreement, and you can do it on the same notice and change in terms of the agreement, and you put the name of the agreement and you change the terms. You put the name of the next agreement and you change the terms. But people are not doing this.
Yes, you are so right. You are so right. So, okay, I found it.
Okay.
So, if you get a loan, and it's supposed to have what is called the truth in lending disclosure statement.
Yes.
Okay?
Looking at it right now.
Yeah. Let me tell you what's called it. It's their standard form. It's 788. I don't know what that means. It may be a governmental form.
What's it called again?
But it's a truth in lending disclosure statement.
Yes. Every mortgage loan must include that.
Yeah, sometimes they don't put it. So this one says, this is neither a contract nor a commitment to lend. Very important words. Okay? This is their words. So, on here, it lists your amount of payments and the number of payments and stuff like that. And then it says demand feature. And mine says this loan does not have a demand feature. So when these little debt collectors start harassing you and saying you need to pay, tell them to show you the loan where it says they can demand payment from you. Okay? They can't demand payment.
Well,
now,
guess what? That's exactly what I've been saying in my video by saying that they never told you that you must pay in this particular species. And that's what that demanding payment, because they would have to specify how the payment is to be paid. That would be against the law because that would violate the so-called Gold Repeal Act section that hasn't been declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. But go ahead, I apologize.
No, it's okay. So now they have the assumption. The assumption cannot assume the remaining balance due under original mortgage terms. Now to go back to mortgage again. Oh my God.
Wait, where are you reading that?
And it's an assumption. You know, they always say, there's an assumption that.
No, where are you reading? It says they cannot assume. That's the language I'm looking for. Where are you reading that?
It's probably on my children lending disclosure statement.
Okay, that's what I want to see. That's a legal phrase. They cannot assume. Mm-hmm. Now, right now in front of us, the closing disclosure explainer. It says assumptions demand feature. See, that's all that's going on in the law is presumption and assumptions. So the fact that you'll have a document that says specifically they cannot assume. Oh, by the way, you know who wrote that, don't you? You know who wrote that agreement, don't you?
If I have the original?
No, you know who wrote that agreement, don't you?
I don't know who wrote it.
Shame on you. That is a shame. Who signed that
Pretty
agreement?
much,
Who signed that agreement?
this is what I had to look at the future, right?
Okay, so that's the one who wrote it because that's the one who signed it because it says
I know, I know what you're saying. I'm not doing anything.
you sat up
Okay,
there and signed that agreement talking about identifying yourself as the originator of the agreement.
I know, I didn't be busy,
Okay,
but you doing,
but it's
okay?
okay because you protected yourself. You said under no circumstances will they be allowed to assume anything. I like that statement.
Exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Assumption. All right. So, okay. So now, this is the other thing you need to pay attention to, people. If you go through your document, so on page section, let's see, notice of acceleration. Okay. This is on the form 3011. It says neither borrower nor lender may commence, join, or be joined to any judicial action. So this is what happens. When they try to do the foreclosure on, they initiated a judicial action. Okay? And in regards to requirement section 15, section 15, notice of acceleration and opportunity to cure. If they say we want that money, we want it right now, they have to, by law, according to section 22, section 18, and section 20, they have to give you an opportunity to cure it, to make up for it, so to speak.
Which is why the video was put out today telling people to send them a stupid payment, a tender of payment, because it is absolutely necessary. You must tender payment, and yes, it's an administrative procedure, so there has to be given an opportunity to cure once default has been notified. That's why they usually give you 35 days before they sell the property.
Right, but this doesn't say how many days they give you, but it says section 15, which is section 15, 22, and 20. All right? That is your notice of acceleration. And if they do foreclose by law, I'm going to send you a form I found. It's called Notice of Default. If they don't have that document registered and filed in the Land Records Division of the court, their foreclosure is void.
Now, say the last part again, if you don't mind.
Okay?
If they don't have who?
Not anyone that's claiming that they own your property and they foreclose on you. I don't know about judicial states, but I think it goes across the board because they say all land is in the state, so that's why you have to go to the state.
Yeah, because it's held through the county.
You have to check.
The government allows the county, because the government owns all land, it allows the counties to maintain it. That's why it says individual so-called ownership is only by virtue of government. And government allows the state to control the land. That's why you register with the state and not with the federal government.
Yeah. So you have to go and look in public records, and that's the thing. You can look, and if they know that you don't know that they're supposed to do it, they're going to continue. I checked mine. I don't have anyone to fault. You know what I got today in the mail? The attorney saying that he has first-hand knowledge that his client owns my property.
He has first-hand knowledge.
Where he gets that information.
Did he say he has first-hand knowledge? He has first-hand knowledge. Well, okay.
When he signed an affidavit, he signed an affidavit.
He cannot. An attorney cannot sign an affidavit. He cannot testify.
Oh, listen to this. You know what he said? It's based on his oath of being an attorney, which is his oath is to the court. So your oath means crap.
No.
What he's saying, have knowledge.
is he's saying that as an officer of the court, he's testifying. So what you need to do, and I'm going to suggest you do
Can't
this,
testify.
but I know. That's why he's doing it under oath and putting forth his oath as an officer of the court. Okay? What you must do is I will need you to produce that instrument, the original instrument, and set up a date and time for us to review that instrument. And without any alterations, need to see the original instrument without any alterations. See, any alterations is
Oh,
not anything that you agreed to. You're going to find that there's going to be an alteration after the notary seal.
well, listen,
Yes.
let me get to the next part. This is so juicy. Oh my God.
Go ahead.
So they're trying to evict me right now, okay? So this is the thing, yeah. The whatchamacallit, what I did, and for everybody that's in this situation, you need to take a picture of your house and you need to submit it with your document. So what I did was I
Wait,
sent in some
before you do
paperwork.
that, y'all don't get to do that with me. Nowhere on this planet do I
Huh?
let y'all do that with me. Y'all gonna make a statement like that, y'all better, you gonna tell people they need to do that. You better be ready to tell them why they need to do something like that.
Because if you don't, you have to show them that it's your house. Your house. That's where you domicile.
That's just a picture. That
And
don't show
you
them
have
that
to make
that's
it
your
exactly.
house. That picture ain't got no address
You have
attached
to.
to it. They don't know if that's the picture of your house. It could be a picture of my neighbor's house.
Exactly. So you know what you do? You have to do the affidavit and said this belongs to moi, not the registered trade. You understand? So that's very important because that's evidence.
Well,
And you
until
can
you
send in a bunch of
rescind
them and send them to
those
pick out the right one, and
signatures,
ask them what's.
hold on, until you rescind those signatures by doing a notice of change in terms of the agreement, you don't rescind the contract. They'll ignore that. You have to do your notice of change in terms of the agreement. You see, every time they send you a bunch of papers in the mail and they send you service agreement, you find this especially with T-Mobile, or remember Google. Google will let you guys know that in order for you to continue to view this, you'll have to take a look at our new terms. And so they're doing a notice of change in terms. That's why you can't click on anything, remind me later, and they keep bugging you and bugging you and bugging you until you accept the agreement to watch or look or be on their page. Well, what you have to do is you have to understand that that's what they're doing. They're changing the terms in the contract. And by your clicking OK, you're accepting those terms. So what happens is when you signed all of those contracts, they started changing the terms of the contract.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, but this
You're
is what
right.
they do.
Mm-hmm.
This is their system. So what you have to do is you have to understand you have the right to reject those terms. You have the right to say, no, I don't want to be subjected to those terms. You're going to have to go find somebody else to bother, to get on their nerves, to irritate, because I don't feel like it. Okay, you have the right to do that. But you have to do that in writing the same as they
Okay.
sent it to you in writing. And most people don't know that they can do this. When your credit card company sends you a new change in terms or a new service agreement, that's all they're doing is doing a notice of change in terms. And it's coming from an attorney. Now, look, you said the Truth in Lending Act. What section did you say you were referring to?
Oh, you mean for that
Yeah, when you were
which
talking
one? The
about the
demand
Truth in
feature?
Lending Act. Yeah, demand feature. Which section was that?
It's an actual form that says truth in lending.
No. I just need to
I
know.
can
So you don't know what section it speaks about it in the Truth in Lending.
I mean it's not a long it's just one form, and if you look on it, it's right there at the I
Oh,
think the
it's
third.
just their Truth in Lending
Okay.
notices. Acceleration clauses or demand features are limited and may only permit creditors to accelerate or demand repayment of the entire outstanding balance of a high-cost mortgage if there is fraud or material misrepresentation by the customer in connection with they give a whole little rendition, but if
Yeah.
people pay attention to my tender of payment, I speak directly to the acceleration, telling them, no, you don't have the right to accelerate my loan.
Right. So this is what happened now. So when I looked at it, I said, wow, they break that law. I said, okay.
Well, you know
But the
what they're
thing is, I don't
getting.
look.
You know what they're getting you under, right? They're getting you under the truth in lending section, accelerated section, where it says the customer fails to meet the repayment terms
Oh no.
of the
Oh, I
agreement.
got more for you.
No, hold
I
on.
got more for you.
This is what it says. If the customer fails to meet the repayment terms of the agreement for any outstanding balance that results in a default of the loan, so it says that they can accelerate it that, but it, again, like you mentioned before, it has to say it in the agreement. Go ahead, though.
Okay. Well, in my case, they can't accelerate. In my case, you know why? I haven't spent them any fiat on it since 2009. Statute of limitations. 2009 December.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're coming after you now for the collateral, the trust agreement, the deed of trust. You see, that's a separate
Okay.
agreement.
I'm glad you said that. You know
Yes.
why? The warranty deed that I have, if you look this up, you all need to check your warranty deeds if you have them. Mine says it is a deed passing title. Look that up. You see what it says. Let me tell you what it says. I'm gonna bring up my document. Hold on. Let me tell you what it says.
Go for it.
Deed passing title for your warranty deed. So it says specifically, the deed passing title states this conveyance is to be construed as a deed passing title and not as a mortgage.
Yes,
Not as a mortgage.
but you're misunderstanding. The warranty deed on your property, the warranty deed is not the lien. The warranty deed is just the thing that's giving you color of title.
Right. So this is what I did. So I filed a adverse possession on the color of law for the property. I've been here over a long time,
Okay.
5-7 years.
But you need to get your stuff together on the adverse possession because they're hating people doing adverse possessions. Even though you have the legal right to do it, the courts, nobody's been doing it this way, and they are having a real hard time trying to figure out how to stop people from doing it. So you need to do your research on that to stop them at every turn, because you have a superior claim to the individual who claims they got a lien on something.
Yeah, I sent in the code with it, and I sent in the code with it. I sent in the case with it, that people do it all the time in the Supreme Court. And I told them, I showed them my my insurance. I took out an owner's title insurance myself. I showed them that. I showed them bills that I paid, while I was staying here. I just showed you.
Let me help you. I'll keep it simple for you. You can show them all of that. That's an addition. That's fine. But under adverse possession, there are 7 prerequisites. 2 of them are necessary, although you don't see them on the websites when you look. The first one is your possession must be open, hostile, notorious, meaning that you can't be hiding it. It can't be in secret. No, it ain't that type of hostile. It ain't that type of hostile. That's why I said, meaning that you can't be hiding it from anyone. You can't be doing it in secret. It has to be, everybody in the neighborhood knows you live there. Okay, you ain't sneaking in through the back door, coming in at night, climbing through windows. You know how people do in certain neighborhoods, they climb through the windows so nobody can see them.
I come outside all the time.
No, I didn't say you didn't. I'm trying to explain to you what the prerequisites are, so stop taking it personal and let me finish, or you get on my last nerve.
Okay.
All right, so it has to be open, hostile, notorious. The second one is that you have to pay the taxes on the property. Get your behind down there to that county assessor's office and pay them taxes. Care what you have to do, get them taxes paid. Now, more than likely, the bank has already paid them. Don't worry about that. You will go down there and pay anyway, and then you will get a receipt showing that they have been paid. Okay, that's all you need is proof that they've been paid. It ain't In some states, they say, well, no, you have to be the one that paid them. That's a lie. The bank paid them on my behalf. All right. They
Okay.
did
So
it
this
under
is,
my
yes.
authority. So if they paid them, they did it on my behalf. So I paid the taxes. Now, then you go to the next one. There has to be an enclosure around the house. A door, a window, a mailbox are all enclosures. So don't
Mm-hmm.
worry about it. Your boundary markers from the county showing the lot, block, plot, map, unit, and all of that junk is your enclosure, because that's what separates your property from the other property. So you don't have to worry about the enclosure part, but you have to put there's an enclosure. The next one is that you have to have had made improvements on the house. You put together yourself
Mm-hmm.
a full list of everything you've done to improve that house, and you do an
Okay.
itemized list, and you do it, if you've been there for 30 years, then you do it for every 15 years. All the work you put in the first
Mm-hmm.
15 years, all the work you put in the second 15 years. You don't have to do it for every year, because that's unreasonable is what that is. Now, after
So
you get
do I do a mechanics lien?
huh?
Do I do a mechanics lien?
Well, see, that's not a prerequisite for adverse possession, but I definitely tell people, you got proof that you did work on that house and you ain't got paid, you better do a mechanics lien, because you have the right. So yes, you put a mechanics lien, you put the itemized list within the mechanics lien. You can find a mechanics lien. I'll use the one for California. Hold on one second. I got UPS at the door, and I'm sending my
Okay.
package. So 1 second.
All right.
Sorry, on the phone. Just a minute. Okay, thank you. No problem. And you have a good day. Please good. Sorry about that. I was returning something that is bulky and wasn't as sturdy as I thought it was. So my UPS driver, and he's my driver, came and picked it up. All right. Now, again, regarding the mechanics lien, some states do not like mechanics liens, and people have been filing mechanics liens because they haven't been filing them properly. You file it properly, you document it, you have proof that you had the right to file it. There is no claim they can bring against you. Remember, the law says there are 5 elements to a crime, 4 elements to
Mm-hmm.
fraud. The law says that all 5 elements must be met before there is a crime. One of the elements is intent. So if you're intending to commit a fraud, then there has to be intent. So what you do is, by showing that you did all this work, you itemize it, you put that on a record, there's no intent. You're not trying to defraud anybody. You're not putting anybody's name on it.
True. True.
Okay, so now you got all of that together. Let's see. We got our enclosure, we got our, colorable title. Your name has to be associated with the title somehow, some way, someplace, somewhere. Well, you have that. You
Yeah.
have a
So
warranty
so
deed
so.
with your name on the title. So
Mm-hmm.
that's your colorable title. You file a mechanics lien. That's your colorable title. And people don't know these simple things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
So
those, go ahead.
I look up here in our state, and it says in order to qualify for that um, the AP, you have to be in actual possession, non-permissive.
Oh, no,
Like
no,
you said, use the property
that's the
open.
7th one. You have to be in possession of the property. However, here is the thing. There's a statute of limitations in your state. What's the statute of limitation? Say that again.
6 years
Okay, well, guess
for
what? You have 6 years from the time you were no longer in possession of the property to go and do a claim of adverse possession. And at that point, you challenge the possession of the other owner by adverse possession. You have 6 years to come back in and say, oh, no, you can't take my property. I qualified under adverse possession. I have 6 years to come back and acquire my property. That's especially if you were foreclosed on last year, the year before last, and the year before that. You have 6 years to come
right,
back and claim your property. So yes, that was the 7th item right there, is being in actual possession of the property.
right. And they said when you file it, if it gets approved, then you have to do quiet title after that. So that
No, oh
when you
God,
do,
no. Who told you you have to do quiet title?
no.
No, you need
If
to
you want to
listen
get
to me.
superior,
You need to listen to me. Who told you, these are my words, not yours, who told you
No,
you had to do quiet
on the
title?
code. No. On the code it says if they sign, they approve you for adverse possession.
Oh,
On
the
the
code,
color of
there's no
law.
way in the world the code can force you to do quiet title. Adverse possession is quiet title. Adverse possession is
Right.
automatic. So there, you don't do quiet title and adverse possession, because quiet title and
No.
adverse
I
possession
misspoke.
is the same thing.
Oh, yeah, I misspoke. Yeah, I misspoke. What I meant to say
I
is
know better.
because you did that.
No. My name is EeoN. I know better. I
You
know how the law
corrected me.
works. I've been doing this for too
It's a lot of
long.
information. It's a lot
I've
of
been doing
information.
this for too long. So thank you for having me prove myself on this call. I know better.
I
Okay?
appreciate that. I appreciate
Lord have
that. Okay,
mercy.
teacher.
So
Okay, teacher. So listen.
that you and everybody and their grandfather know. Mama knew, but I know. Okay?
Okay, teacher. So, yeah, so that's what it comes out to. That's what it amounts to after you complete
No,
the
yeah,
process.
you don't want to, doing quiet title, allow somebody to come back and step in. Not quiet title, but yeah, quiet title. Doing quiet title allows
Right.
somebody to come back and interfere, claim they have a superior right, and it
Yes.
doesn't deal with possession and ownership rights. Adverse
Right. There you go.
possession,
Superior rights. Yeah.
yes,
So,
but
another information.
adverse possession is a common law remedy. Quiet
Right.
title is a statutory remedy.
Yes.
That's why
Yes,
you
teacher.
see nobody else was doing adverse possession this way until I started saying it. But I've been trying to tell people this for years and nobody's paying attention. If you've been in a house and you are paying a mortgage and they're claiming you own the house, but you actually don't own the house, then you do an adverse possession. And there's nothing nobody can say. But the courts are not going to like it. But that's why you have to do the research to understand. We tried to teach a whole group of people about adverse possession. And look, after 5 months, they weren't getting it. And so we decided to walk away and we decided to just tell all of you about it, because we were going to create that as a program, but it's too much for us to go into court and stand up there and speak for people. You have to know what you're doing.
Yes.
Okay, now let's get back to, we have to get back to the reason for this call, and that is the fact that somebody took your name when you had a foreclosure issue, or basically when you have any other issue with the court. They take your name, they trademark that name, and then they bring the registered agent for that name into the court, and you stand in as registered agent. Well, how do you become the registered agent for that name? Well, because you went to the DMV and you applied, or you went to the state somehow, some way, somewhere you applied. Huh?
That's why you can't win. So you have
No,
to
that's why you
cancel it.
do the notice of resignation of registered agent, and then you take over the ownership of that by doing your claim of ownership of that trade name. That's why they don't want you to set up another trade name in your name, because now please understand, listen to this, because this is going to give you the education you need. The reason why you can't set up another trade name in your so-called legal name is because they've already done it.
Okay.
Can't have two corporations named by the same name and supposedly owned by two different independent parties, because it's not allowed. That's fraud.
That's what she said. That's what she said specifically. Two people, two names. You can't have the same two names.
Exactly, because they've already created it for you. So you go ahead and deregister that name or cancel that trade name. And there, like you said, there is a form for that.
All right. So all right. So now let me tell you what they list me as. Like, let me tell you what the criteria for it is. So they have me right now as the president and owner of the signature.
Yes.
That's it. Right?
Yeah,
so
but what did you, now
that,
wait. What did you do to get that done?
No, it's on the affidavit form. In order to cancel it, you have to say you are the president and owner of the signature.
Exactly.
That is why when you go to sign that document, it has to look exactly as it looks on any identification you're using.
But here's the problem that you all and everybody get because you guys don't understand the law. No, it doesn't. Your signature changes. Most people don't know that. My signature has changed. As a matter of fact, I changed my signature even in the course of using my name. Why?
I did
Because
that too.
I am the controller of that signature. The only thing that's required is when you stand before that notary identifies that you are the person signing it. That's
Right,
why,
and that's why he did it.
as a
Exactly.
notary,
All right.
you was a notary. In California, they
Yes.
have this thing called the all-purpose jurat or all-purpose acknowledgement, where it says the notary is only
Right.
authorizing or acknowledging. That's stupid. I take that junk offline now. At first, I was telling people, yeah, all the other states are accepting this, but no, we get rid of that because the notary seal on that signature is the same as a court's judgment. See, they
Yes.
can't take away the notary
Of course.
power because that would take away the power of the seals of most of the people in the state. That would take away the power from the Secretary of State. So, because it's the seal of the state that it represents. It's the same
Okay.
power as that of a magistrate. So what they did is when they put that little disclaimer on there, that's the notary waiving some of their rights. That's why the
Yes.
notary is only doing this and only doing that. Get rid of that stupid box. Anything that limits what your document is for, the notary is supposed to be documenting that that's an original document and that your signature on there is an original signature. That's what the notary is supposed to be doing, verifying that you are the person whose name is associated with that document. They're not supposed to be,
Yes.
well, we're just verifying the person is signing that. That's all we're doing. That's no, that's junk. That's not the way it's supposed to go, but that's the way they've been doing people. All right.
That's a very important thing to do. So what is the reason for having the W-9 here, those documents? What
Wait,
is the
no,
W-9?
you were breaking up. So say it a little bit slower.
Okay. Now, I found a W-9 in my loan documents. Now, as far as I know,
Do you know what a
the
W-9 is
W-9,
for?
yeah, if you provide a service, I'm going to have to issue a W-9. So,
Really? Are you sure that's what a W-9 is for?
when somebody, they have to report it?
Well, hold on. Let's hold on one second. Because I know that a
That's
W-9, hold on. I'm going to pull it up for you because I know that W-9 form, I know that that is a little bit more than what you said. As a matter of fact, a lot more than what you just said. And I can tell you just by reading the instructions for a W-9, that's the reason why they place it in there. Okay?
Always back.
They need that for the 1099s and the OIDs and all of that stuff that they're doing. That much I can guarantee you that that W-9 is needed for. Okay, now I'm just telling you
Yeah, that's
that.
why I told him I want them to send me a copy.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that just briefly. I'm not. I haven't even gone over it because I only go over a little bit information about the W-9. But the W-9 is them requesting information and requesting this and sending it to them, letting them know that they have the right to get this information. This W-9 is definitely associated with your them doing the 1099s. Okay, but let me just read this short paragraph so that you will know. Form W-9 is not something you generally have to worry about unless you are an independent contractor, consultant, or self-employed worker. You may be asked to complete an IRS W-9 form if you or your business are contracted to provide services. Now that's the basic junk. But when they do the 1099 miscellaneous, that's how I know about the W-9 forms because I read the general instructions for the 1099s. And it speaks about the W-9 directly. You see, they need that information because they need something to give the IRS because, the banks are, they're shysters. They'll just robo-sign and rubber-stamp stuff and be taking money from the government and be getting over. And so the government needed to come up with a way to document every single client, every single thing that they were doing. And so they came up with forms like the W-9. Go ahead.
Guess who shows up on the back of the form where it says the Department of Agriculture, your favorite place.
Of course.
Mhm.
Of course, the Department of Agriculture. This is all, first, you are agriculture, but this is all agriculture.
Yes. And it says that they receive.
Uh-oh, you broke
So
up.
what
You
that
said,
means.
no, you broke up. You said it says that they
Okay,
received.
and
Yeah, you said it says that they received, but it broke up.
it says on the form, the account with the Department of Agriculture in the name of a public entity, and in brackets such as a state or local government, school district, prison, close brackets,
Amazing, ain't
that
it?
receives agricultural tourism payment.
Amazing, ain't it?
That's number 12.
And it said
Yeah.
prison. It said prison,
So,
correct?
yeah, they'll
Because
say prison.
because
I'm shocked.
trading prisoners like chattel, that's exactly what's going on. That's what's going on. But we've known this.
But you just have to have proof. You know, it's like people
No,
want
no,
to
no,
see
no,
it, but
no,
it's like,
no. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
no.
It's in the general instructions. That's why I know what the W-9. That's why I said it's a whole lot more than what you were saying. That's why I
Yeah.
know about the W-9. I don't do any research on the stupid W-9. I don't like the IRS. I don't like their forms. I don't like to deal with them. But when I went over the general instructions, I paid attention to that one. That's why when you said W-9 for me, I asked you specifically, what is it? And you told me that. I'm like, it's a whole lot more than what you're saying. And then that's when I told you it's directly associated with the 1099s and especially the miscellaneous. And I just pulled it up on the
Yeah.
internet because I'm typing on the internet while we're talking. So I just pulled up on the internet where it's directly associated with the 1099 miscellaneous. Okay.
Okay.
But this is their system.
And
Now, wait, you said you tracked this all the way to Jersey? What did you track in Jersey? And see, we were supposed to, we were headed that way, but then you told me you didn't want to give the information. I told you about how we give the information and we don't have to worry about that. They're not going to change the system up. I want to get on that point because there's some people say, see, you let her get distracted and you took her off that point. And now look, it's an hour-long conversation and we ain't learned nothing. So I don't want people doing something
no,
stupid like that
but what
because
I was
I'm
saying to you
sorry.
is,
We have a lot of people who watch my videos who are new and they're
yeah,
from YouTube and they're so used to being able to whine and get their way and cry and boo and they're allowed to do that on other sites and they're not allowed to do that here, but I can hear them in the background even
yeah,
after I do the video, but even while I'm doing the video I can hear their whining, and so that we can get rid of the whiners because it's the whiners club. Since we can get rid of the
yeah.
whiners, let's tell them about New Jersey and then also tell them the information you said that you didn't want to put out there because you felt that they would stop other people from doing this and that. Let's give them that so that they can be happy.
All right. So, y'all need to, the very important thing, I normally check my credit all the time, but I've been very lazy. So, y'all need to run your credit reports at least once a year. See who's doing business in that trade name, because that's how I found all this information. So, once a Board of Education shows up on my credit report saying I work there, and I call them. It's called Valley Township Board of Education. So I call to find out if they have any charities or anything going on because I have a feeling that they're trying to cash out on the security. That's just my feeling. I haven't gone much deeper than that. And I also have a business listed under my domicile address that I don't have. And it's in real estate. It's in real estate. Let me tell you that.
Let me give you a suggestion.
Address.
Let me give you a
Yes.
suggestion. Now you know what you're getting right now. You're getting one of those consults for free. So I'm gonna give you a suggestion. These idiots got companies and businesses in your name, and you can see these businesses, and you're making copies of these businesses being conducted in your name, right? Okay, file a claim against them with the SEC, then the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, for securities fraud, that they're operating in your trade name without your permission. You're the owner of the name. Remember that name in all caps. When you show up in court, your driver's license has that name in all caps.
Well,
Okay?
I did file a claim.
Okay, now what you do is pay attention. Let's go to court. We only want a declaratory judgment. We don't want a monetary judgment. So let's go to small claims court. Let's get a cease and desist order, or let's get an injunction, a temporary restraining order. Do a temporary restraining order against them using your name without your permission.
Okay.
And now once we get our temporary restraining order, they're going to continue to use that name. Now we go ahead and we get a judgment against them. Now the judgment we're looking for is we want to recoup all of the expenses for them using that name. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm on YouTube, and in the background what I'm doing is I'm going to my YouTube channel and I'm going to the video I put up today, which YouTube blocked immediately in the United States. Well, it was talking about the Our Style money order, and because it was talking about the Our Style money order, they were like, you ain't styling nothing with this in the US. Okay, and so they literally blocked it. As a matter of fact, the video, I put up a second video where I edited it, that video, and I promise you, I put that up. It is 2 o'clock. I put that video up at 11:30. It still shows 13% uploaded.
What?
Okay, that video, this is what they do. This is YouTube at its best. So, and according to my upload, that video has already been uploaded, but according to Google, it ain't uploaded yet. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to pull that one down and upload it again. Oh, well, anyway, this is what they do.
They're trusting you.
Well, see, here's what they're claiming. They're claiming that they're copyright issues. Because they're claiming it's copyright issues, they're saying I'm using someone else's material without their permission. Well, you need to.
I give you the
no, that's why I'm saying it. Child, I'm sitting up here trying to tell you somebody using your name, the same as Google saying I'm using somebody else's stuff. Go recoup your monies, but you have to do it the right way. You file your complaints, you give your notices, because you need to find out who the parent corporation is.
Yeah.
Who's running that corporation, so you need to contact the Secretary of State.
Okay, so do I go to the district level for the court,
You need
or do
to
I go to
listen
federal
to
level?
me. Do the research, this legwork first, before you start asking about what court to go to. You haven't even walked out your front door yet, so how you know which way you're going to be going? You already on the freeway headed to the court. And you forgot all the paperwork and all of the steps at home. No, take your behind back home, follow the steps, get your paperwork together, and then you're going to realize that you don't want to go to court just yet. No. What you want to realize is that you want to go ahead and get their attention by mailing out letters to them saying, hey, send a letter to the Secretary of State. There's a complaint form for the Secretary of State. Hey, somebody's using my name. Somebody's using a name under my corporation, and they are registered in this state under this name. And they're doing business as, and here is the proof that they're doing business as. They're setting up bonds and selling bonds, and they're trading overseas. They're violating all kinds of laws. I need this to stop. This is causing me damage. This is ruining and damaging my public image, because we want to get them for libel and slander.
And can I say one thing?
You can say.
One more bit of information.
No, you broke up. Because remember, we're coming through. You're coming through over the internet. And so when you talk too fast, it ain't gonna pick you up. So go ahead.
Okay, I have one very important stuff I have to say.
Go for it.
And this is, so when you get stuff in the mail, it's very important. Do not throw away those envelopes. You know why? When these debt collectors send you present them in the mail, you should go ahead and file a violation with the postal marshal. Because when you fill out that form, the marshal is going to ask you, do you still have the evidence of the envelope? And he's going to ask you what is listed on the envelope, what numbers to look for. All that stuff is very important information. And when you communicating with these people, you need to do this stuff certified mail or registered mail. You have to have a receipt.
No, don't do no registered mail. What you talking about?
Well, when you're going to fill out
I
that
just told
violation
people
form,
yesterday, you don't need to do nobody's registered mail. Here you are telling them something contrary. You're going to sit up here and try to make me look bad? I told them yesterday, don't y'all dare do no registered mail. Told them to do priority mail, because priority mail comes with a tracking number. They get a receipt, they get a tracking number, and it shows what zip code and what address it went to. Priority mail is the same as certified mail. You just don't, you want to get a signature, you can request a signature. I tell people you don't need a signature. As long as you get that tracking number, that's all you needed. You just need proof that it was delivered. Registered mail just goes through one step after the next step, and it takes a whole goddamn year for it to get there, whereas priority mail gets there within 3 to 5 business days. Technically,
okay, so
if you mail it in the
okay.
same state, it gets there the next day.
Okay, so you just want to make sure you have proof that you sent them something.
Priority
So that's
mail.
what the form.
The
Yes.
post office did this
Okay.
for you. They made, because they needed to raise the fee for priority mail, so they gave every priority mail package a tracking number. So no matter what priority mail you send it out. When I get stuff to and from SATCOM, it comes priority mail because we get a tracking number associated with it. Every time SATCOM sends me something that ain't priority mail, Lord have mercy. But go ahead.
All right, so listen, I'm going to give you the name of that thing, and y'all can research it to see if you find anything on it.
All right, yeah, because see, it's been a long week for me. This is Friday and my week is not over. I still got a ton of paperwork I have to finish. I'm working on some letters now for people. So I'm going to have to let you get back to your life. And I'm going to tell these people that that's the best I can do for them, letting them know that now they can go and do research like you did on the trade name, that their name is being traded in that courtroom. And that, where's that list, that paper, that book that you said you found yours in, your trade name listed in the court? What was the name of that book?
You just click on how to set up a trade name.
How to set up a who? Oh, how to set up a trade name.
Yeah, how to register. It says register trade name.
Okay, and that's with the court, not with the Secretary of State, right?
No, you got to go to the county first, because
okay, so you go to the county, and it's how to register a trade name on a county level, not the Secretary of State level.
No, not the Secretary of State. You got to go to your county where you live. That's where it is.
You know what? On the end note, let me tell you how much sense that makes. Because your property is registered with the county, of course the trade name would be registered with the county.
Exactly. That's why these gas bill and
I deal with logic.
Oh,
I deal with logic, so this is the logic. If it's registered with the county, there's also a way. There's also a way to unregister it with the county. Or there's a way to notify the county that somebody is using your registered trade name without your permission, because the only way they can register that is with your permission. So you bring a claim that they're using it without your permission. Let them bring forth the evidence that no, they are not, that you gave them permission. Let them prove their self. You don't have to prove nothing. You just bring forth the presumption first, because every presumption must be disproved by a preponderance of evidence to the contrary. So let them bring their preponderance of evidence, because all you do is say, I didn't approve it. The moment you put in an affidavit saying you did not approve of that, then they have to rebut your affidavit with a preponderance of evidence to the contrary. They cannot. Okay? See, I told y'all at the end of my videos that there's always information that y'all never gonna know about. Anyway, I'm stopping. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've allowed that young lady to get back to her day. I'll be allowing all of you, that's right, I said allowing all of you to get back to your day. That video that I was putting up, I had to delete it because YouTube definitely wasn't going to allow it to be placed back up. However, they are hip to what I did the last time. They deleted a video, and then when they deleted it, I immediately put it back up under a different title. So they don't want that. I'm not the first to do it, but you know, especially when they delay putting the video up. This is right here. So when they delay putting a video up, I will just change the name of the video and then load it up again. And by doing that, that's what we do. So right now, I'm putting that video up. It will be up shortly. I would definitely say, please understand, those of you who are wondering about the hour style money order, you'll see that it is not that complicated. All you have to do is understand the principles of it. It is simple. It is simple. It is simple. Okay. Now you see 4% uploaded, 7 minutes remaining. Remember, the other one just said something very similar, but this one 6 minutes remaining. It will be up shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, let's can't let y'all see all of that because that's somebody's information. Don't want y'all to see that. Can't really let you see all this stuff right here because these are all the videos that y'all, some of these ain't y'all even supposed to be knowing about some of them videos, but it don't matter because y'all can't see much. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, let's go ahead. Yeah, I'll leave that up for now. There's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen. We have this situation where all of you are struggling, all of you are trying to figure things out. Some of you are getting together in groups, but then your groups are segregated. You know, the type of groups you don't want nobody else knowing about your groups. You get segregated and you want to keep everything to yourselves and you don't want nobody else to know about. Please understand, ladies and gentlemen, she was absolutely correct about the acceleration clauses or the demand features. It says they are limited. They may only permit a creditor to accelerate a demand payment of the entire outstanding balance of a high cost mortgage if. So what qualifies your mortgage as a high cost? Pay attention. They said high cost mortgage because they're saying the mortgage is the payment. No, ladies and gentlemen, the promise to pay, the bill of sale is the payment. Okay? And so you see it, notice it says the clauses may only permit. You are the one who initiated those clauses. You have to change the agreement. Now, wait, hold on. Some of you are going to just be running out there just writing some bull and thinking that that's going to be acceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't just do an all points bulletin change of clause, okay? Notice a change in terms. You can't just sit up there and just change all the terms in bulk. You have to change the ones that are highest and most important. What you do is you notify them that and send them the payment, the loan has been paid off in full. And if they had not received that payment, you had not been notified. Here is another payment. However, they will have to show you their books so that you can have verifiable proof of what the outstanding balance was prior to your sending in the current payment. You get me? You got me? And no, I can't help all of you. And no, I'm not going to return none of y'all calls because y'all see ain't too many people I didn't call back and put their calls on video. And no, it ain't happening. So no, no, no. Some of you are thinking that, well, I'm going to make it so enticing. I had somebody send me an email telling me that they were certain. First, they called me by the wrong name. You all know that I changed my name some time ago. They called me by the wrong name. I don't know what was wrong with them because they know better. But then they told me they had some important information. And I said, oh no, you know how busy I am. You send me the information and I will determine whether or not it's important or not. Well, they sent me some information. It might be a little bit important, but I haven't had a chance to look at it. But I will. But that don't mean I'm going to do a video on it. Don't mean I'm going to call the person and put them on video. I called that young lady up because what she had found is what we had long time known about. Now you guys know that you need to go to the county and look up your name in the trade name section. And yes, you can set up a trade name in your legal name because people name companies after themselves all the time. Okay? Morgan Stanley? Those are 2 last names. You guys know what I'm talking about. There are too many companies out there where it's named after the person and it's not just a father and son shop. And I can't think of any right now because I'm tired, y'all. But y'all can think of companies where it's the name of the person and then it has LLC. I can think of several companies that has the names. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go do your registered name, you take and you go and look. I told y'all when I'm thinking, everything's on point. But when I's got a lot on my mind, ain't nothing on point. Let me tell y'all where y'all's gonna go. Okay? This where y'all's gonna go. Come on now. Get together. See, it ain't even coming up. I'm gonna do it myself. If it ain't gonna do it, I'm gonna do it up here then. I'm a all of mama s mama. Let's do I'm a all of mama s okay? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the I'm a mama s okay? And by doing that, we get here. We are here to stay. And we're gonna rock if you like it or not. Where did you go? That's UTFO, by the way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, watch this. Ima mama, ama mama, in. Ima mama, ama mama, in. And so for ima mama, ama in, we're gonna pull that up. Why? Because this is where we get to set up a corporation under the legal name. We can do a trust, we can do an LLC, we can play with the legal name. Once you get your federal identification number, which you would have to have if you created a corporation, you'd have to establish a federal identification number. So create the federal identification number first under the legal name, and they're going to all caps it. Matter of fact, you do it without the initial. Okay, because then you tell them, oh no, that name has a middle name. Or you do it with the initial. Okay? And there you go. Now you take that to the county recorder and say, oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, I can. I already have a corporation in this name. And you show them that federal identification document, which has the legal name on it with the federal EIN number on it. And there you go. Now you can set up your trade name. Oh, by the way, those of you who got this trade name some time ago, remember, they set up a trade name for you when you get your mortgage, when you get your birth certificate, when you get Social Security number. They do all of this trade name stuff because they have to set up the corporation. Now you have a little bit more proof at the corporation. And so, as I told people, I'm going into court saying I'm a non-taxpayer. And I'm sorry, you don't have my permission to use my trade name on any of your forms. You are hereby ordered to cease and desist from this point forward. You are not permitted to use my trade name. You will only permitted to use the form of my name, my natural name, upper lowercase. If you have a problem with that, please state your objection, and I will take it under consideration and advisement. And then you just simply, when they write it, you say order denied. Because the judge will issue an order, or the judge will issue an order denied. Just that simple. No, I do not agree and I do not accept. No, 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 no. All right, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, this is how we do it. We got to say bye-bye. So with that being said, y'all, I'm going to have y'all get on back to y'all's day, but don't say I ain't taking the time to educate y'all. So see y'all's later. Bye, y'all. Bye for now.